feel like I'm hungover, but I'm not because I don't drink.
That's how I feel.
I just got
today.
that shit headache.
Must be something in the water. Probably alcohol.
Probably that lead,
We're nowhere near that.
We don't even live in Michigan.
We get our water from Detroit. That's where gets its water.
And we get our podcasts from right here. How was that, you guys?
That was a good one.
Cool. I did it. This is Peeves and Cues. This is a weekly audio podcast show where we ask each other questions and talk about what's annoying us each and every week. I'm your humble host, Mr. Red, and with me, as always, is Clever Girl.
Hi.
The Quaff Man.
Why am I here?
And our one-time guest.
You're a humble host, but you always say your name first.
Yeah, that's because, well, humble is a relative.
No, not
snap.
really. No.
It's like humble in regards to like a snail who doesn't have any concept of himself,
What?
right?
Then the snail would be more humble.
Oh, you're right. Wow, I'm bad at this.
Wow.
See, that was humbling, wasn't it? Anyway, we are...
Humiliating, not humbling.
Oh, yeah, okay, well, I am humiliated. Let's just move on. So how have you guys been? How's it going? Like, what's up? This is our first segment, by the way.
Autumn is now in full swing, apparently.
Yeah, it was
According to the calendar.
It was raining pretty hard today.
Yep, all 80 degrees of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only shitty thing. I think that's why I feel like such crap, because it's been cold and now it's hot again. School's back in full swing.
For some people.
I know, you have like 2 weeks left? One week?
Today is Wednesday? Inside baseball. But yeah, in 1 week I start classes. Hey, new comic books happened today. Has anyone read new comic books today?
No.
I don't read.
I don't read or go to school anymore.
Yeah, you're done. You're
I'm
done with
done.
all that nonsense. What's
I'm
that like?
Weird. I cried the first, back to school day that I didn't have to go back to school, and I was like, oh my god, what am I doing with my life? Because I didn't have a job then either, so.
Yeah, that's gotta be rough.
It was rough.
I still really like being in school because I enjoy learning, I enjoy going to school and everything, but I also want to be done.
It's nice never having homework. But I do have.
Yeah, I understand.
jobs.
I hear what you're saying, but let me talk about what I'm going through right now.
Is that what
Yes, that's exactly what that was.
Is that what
I hear you. So let me talk about me for a second.
Is that not how everything goes? It's like it's
No.
You
It
know,
shouldn't be, but it does.
It shouldn't
a
be.
lot.
It
But like
does.
that
It
was
does.
that was so perfect.
Yeah, that was very pointed.
Yeah.
Not that I did it on purpose. I am just a pretentious douche.
Pretentious. I think
That's
was
humble.
the word.
Thank you.
The
Good.
word that you were trying to
See,
come up with
proving
last
my
time. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So this was this. Yeah. Yep. I'll probably cut that.
How is school, guys?
Oh, man. I have a great semester this time around, and I'm just super excited.
What classes are you taking?
Well, I'm taking Advanced Creative Writing.
Yeah,
fiction.
I think you talked about this. How's that? How is that? I was really interested in that.
I just ripped out a piece of my soul and put it onto a computer and called it a story.
Nice.
Can you get that back, or is
Is
this
that
like
fiction?
a Horcrux situation?
back?
If your
Well,
computer's destroyed as a part of your
Alright,
die?
so once you write a story, a piece of you is out there. Now, I particularly like to write soul-crushing, horrible, sad things.
Yeah.
So I just had that out there forever.
It's amazing that you haven't watched Game of Thrones.
It's like a bad YouTube video. It's out there forever.
Yeah, and you can never take it back. You can, but should you? You should wear that. You should just be like,
I completely think
I would be
people
like,
should
I'm the
wear that
piano
like they're
cat
bad.
guy.
Yeah. A piano cat was amazing.
Piano cat. That being said, I did recently go through like my Reddit history because I started using Reddit when I was far too young to do things publicly on the internet, and so I said some stupid things, and then I went back and I was like, ooh, that's not me anymore. I'm just gonna edit
Going through my old like MySpace
Ooh, MySpace.
What did you even call
you
them?
remember your password for MySpace?
I do.
I think I still have an account on there, but
It
you
is
know
so-
what? I couldn't tell you how to get on.
You get on, and now it's just like. It's like half of it's broken, like nobody's updated. So it doesn't look like MySpace did when you were on it. So it's just like completely all the ads everywhere, pop-ups, and like it's just been like infested by the computer game.
How are your Geopets doing? Are they still alive?
Your Gigapets?
Neopets?
Neopets. That's what it is.
Did you have Neopets?
Oh shit!
Yeah, you gotta go.
I gotta go feed my Neopets.
They are mad at you.
Mine are so dead.
Anybody have Gigapets? When you were like the Tamagotchis?
No, they were going around though, and I never got into them because I was like, this is stupid. Why does everybody care about
I had one. It was
If I wanted
cool.
to take care of something, it'd be an actual pet.
Yeah, a dog is so cute, and A digital dog.
You've been all about dogs lately.
Dogs are the cutest creatures. They're the superior species. They should run around.
Ever since we had the episode at your house and you got a new dog, Alex was like, oh my god, we need a dog.
I want that dog.
No.
I'm not going to bring it here.
No.
I would keep it in my room.
No.
Lay on me all day.
No.
No, I love dogs. So, how are your classes going?
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I bet.
But you're almost done with your exhausting job.
Hell fucking yeah.
When's your last day? Huh?
Tomorrow.
By
Oh
the
my
time-
gosh!
By the
It's
time
tomorrow.
By the time
It
you,
is-
the audience,
yeah.
hear this,
I'm
he
done.
will be unemployed.
He's already.
I'm
Technically,
employed.
you don't start until Monday.
But I'm employed. I've
don't.
signed the paperwork.
From the time you end one position to the time you begin
No.
the next, you do not.
That's just your philosophy.
I've
which
been
is
employed.
awful.
I've been
That's true.
employed for. Technically, I've been employed by 2 places for a week.
You've had 2 jobs, you just haven't done one of them yet.
Yeah, I just
You
haven't
did that
been
one
assigned
day.
any work.
So that's really exciting for you. You're like you used to have this really weird schedule where you'd work night shifts. So
3rd shift, yeah.
yeah, that was rough for you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You want to talk about it?
The worst thing in the world.
Yeah,
No, it is the worst thing in the world. Like this relates, I promise. So like I watch a lot of TED Talks just because I
Who doesn't?
I like
I
listening.
don't.
Yeah.
I like listening to people talk intelligently about their field and
Yeah.
like be passionate about
Me too,
their
me too,
field
it's great.
and stuff. And I was thinking recently about how my life is, even from the time I put in my 2 weeks. I've been getting fewer hours there,
Yeah.
and the quality of my life, even with that, how much that has changed. And so I was thinking about, like, I could probably do a TED Talk on, like, here's why working 3rd shift is horrible for your health.
I bet. Yeah.
Oh, completely.
Your mental and physical health.
There are studies about. I mean, sunlight is so crucial to survival. It's why we don't. It's why we sleep at
What is
night.
it? How is it pronounced? Circadian rhythm. Like
Yep. Yep.
your body still tries to function on that.
Yeah. And so
even if it's 6 o'clock in the morning, your body's like, well, here's an extra burst of adrenaline.
yeah. Now you're awake because the sun's also.
And I'm like,
up.
well, I have class in 3 hours. I'm not going to get any sleep. I'm just going to go to class. Oh, oops! I slept longer than my class. I have now missed my class.
Did you do that?
Yeah,
Already this year?
yeah.
Oh my god.
That's why. That is why.
Why
I'm
you were
leaving
just
this
like, I'm
job.
done.
Because there's a class that meets at 9:30 in the morning this semester, and you get 2 absences. The third, you get dropped a letter grade.
Holy crap.
The first week,
You missed 2.
I missed. I did both my.
Wow.
At
Yep.
the school I go to, you're allowed to miss 40% of a class, and then they drop you, which is a
Damn.
lot.
That is a lot.
That's nearly
Holy
half.
shit.
When I went through my
Nearly half.
program, they literally said, do not miss a day. And I'm like, that's not humanly possible. They're like, no, do not miss a single effing day.
Yeah.
And I didn't, but, like, I also didn't have any children and wasn't lazy. But, so, I just thought that was insane.
I just want to make it clear that you still don't have any children.
Maybe.
Just there's something I don't know about. This is a groundbreaking episode.
Dropping some bombs this episode.
Yeah.
All right.
Surprise! No.
So that's really exciting that you're
Yeah.
not.
What's the earliest class you've ever had?
8 a.m.
I mean, probably in
Yeah,
high school
yeah,
and
8
stuff.
a.m.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I meant college.
Oh, no,
I meant
no.
college.
8 a.m.
In college, mine was
8 a.m.
noon.
So-
I'm not saying that's early. I'm not saying it's so early I had to get up at noon. I'm saying I'm just answering.
I know,
the
he's such a jerk.
question. Why would I deliberately do that to myself? Why would I say, 8 in the morning, I want to go to... Actually, back when I had a job that was based around, like, random scheduling, a job where they would say you were working 4 hours from like, noon to 4 or from 4 to 8 or whatever.
And that, so talking about, schedule, random scheduling
Yeah.
and being on a schedule, so the job you work right now, you
Yeah.
work
I love your
9 to
job.
5.
9 to 5,
Like,
I
it
love
is
it. I love
you
it.
go
And
in.
you leave at 5. Like,
Yep.
doors are
Yep.
closed. I envy that so much.
And so the job that I had, while I worked 5-6 days a week, and we always went in at 11:30. It was well, sometimes you get out at 4, sometimes you get out at whatever.
yeah.
The job I'm gonna have now, I literally can just be all right, I'm gonna work now. You know what? I'm done working. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go do something with my life.
I'm super jealous of
Right?
that.
Yours is still really
That's
good.
the thing,
Yes,
though.
it is.
I would be just as okay with like a 9 to 5.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me frickin'
Yeah,
too.
I love having a steady schedule because all my other jobs have been this random. Like, you get your schedule 2 weeks in advance. And
Sometimes
then
the shift starts at 3 in
Yeah.
the morning, and you know,
sometimes
and sometimes it doesn't. So
and it's random. And so now I have this job that is steady, so I can schedule things around it, and I love that. But if I had a job where I could put in my own hours and work from home, still do the same amount of work, just at home and at my will, I would love that.
I don't think NASA has an at-home program, but
I mean,
you can check that out.
I will build the drones that I can pilot from my bedroom.
I'm going to ask probably a stupid question, but it's a for real
There's
question.
no such thing as stupid questions.
That is
Connor, do you want
not
to say something about
true.
that?
That is not true. What time is the 12 o'clock parade is a stupid question.
If the parade was called the 12 o'clock parade, but then due to circumstance they had to push it back, but people would be confused
Alex.
if they named it something else.
Shut the fuck up.
All right, what were you saying about that?
NASA's still a thing, yeah?
Yes.
It hasn't like
Yes.
completely shut down. It's just gotten cut.
No, I mean, the funding
Now
is
it's-
abysmal.
But now it's growing back because now
Alright,
they're getting their recovery.
Because
They barely have enough to afford a hot pocket.
I had heard that they had been like cut down to almost nothing. I was like, oh,
I mean,
they, like,
that is
Yeah.
true.
Almost nothing. They're still functioning, and they're still.
They're they're doing more about recovery where they can reuse all of their materials, so it won't cost so much in the future. Because that's when they changed from the rockets to the shuttles is when NASA took a big like.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. Everyone assumes that the reason there's no space travel right now, the reason that there is like a lack of exploration and actual studies going to and from celestial bodies.
The reason is because there hasn't been a new Star Wars movie in a while. Now that
it's not because we don't have the technology. That is like, not only do we have it, we can make it. There's no money to make it. That's the problem.
Yeah. Speaking of Star Wars, last night Phantom Menace was on TV.
I told Connor
and I
about
watched it. I watched it not once, twice.
this. Why did you?
Why?
You hate yourself.
Well, it was just on when I went to bed, and I was just like, "Oh my god, this is so good! I love the prequels."
I would like to pause for a moment and read word for word the transaction that Jody and I had at the same time this happened. So she gets home and she texts me, "Phantom Menace is on," and I say, "Ha ha ha! Now I want to throw up."
because I threw up on the way home.
Yeah, and she told me that.
So
And I said-
dumb.
And I said, "Now I want to throw up." And she said, "Truth be told, I fell asleep during when we watched it the first time she saw it was with me. Does Darth Maul ever talk?" And I say, "No, never," which is probably not true. I think we decided that he has like a single
A line
What is
or
it?
two.
Oh.
Maybe it's "I shall do this, master." Or something.
Oh, okay.
It's dumb. And
See, I still missed it. 'cause I fell
what's the
asleep.
line? It's at last our plan is complete. At last we can have our revenge. Like
something-
that's it. Like that is the
something
line.
stupid, yeah. And so I say, "No, never," because it's more or less true. And she says, "So, ... how do we know he's a bad guy?" And I say, "Poor filmmaking. He looks evil and tries to kill the good guys." And that's what happened, because those are poorly constructed films. They are just objectively not well done.
I have a problem with the Phantom Menace being on television, and it's that you can't see naked women or excessive violence, but they'll let the prequel trilogy on television.
Yeah, and that should be a federal
this
crime.
week-
I feel like there's a moral gray line they're crossing.
I feel like you should be allowed.
This week they're showing all of them, so you can see the bikini, I guess, on whatever.
Crime against humanity.
thing
We
that
should
is.
start a petition.
Anyway,
It does seem weird to air any of the Star Wars movies,
It
even the good
does.
ones, on TV, though.
it
Something
does.
about that just
it's like
seems weird.
cheapens it. I feel.
Yeah, because Star Wars needs to be this thing
It's like,
that everybody
hey,
has a copy
hey,
of.
bitches, you should have bought your copy. Exactly.
Yeah, you shouldn't. Oh, you should own Star Wars. Everybody does.
On the original Betamax, yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Before they put out the special editions.
Yep. Well, no,
That is accurate.
because the new ones have more.
No,
Hayden
no,
Christensen in
stop.
them.
You are going to be put under fire for that statement.
Blast
So,
away.
I talk about my evening last night a little bit.
Is this? Do you want to use this as your peeve? We can do an excellent transition, or do you have enough?
Yeah, actually, I would like to.
Great.
use-
So
I'm
we're
not
gonna
quite
move
sure
into
how I would
peeves.
form it into a.
You were
no,
annoyed,
I do.
You
I
were
know-
annoyed by this.
Yes,
specific
I know
situation. That can be
exactly
it.
how
That
I
can
would.
be it.
I'm so
how I would-
excited.
This
All
was
right.
an amazing story.
This
by the way, he told
right.
me.
I'm gonna have to get my phone. Hang on.
Can we edit footsteps?
Vamp.
No, we're gonna talk to the listeners for a minute. Listen, you need to subscribe. Tell your friends about
Listen,
the show.
you need to watch the prequels.
Don't do that. Don't.
You also need to watch Joel Schumacher Batman.
We want to keep them listening. We don't want them.
Take the time you're not wasting on bad movies.
Hey.
Listen to our podcast.
Listen to more Peeves and Qs. You know what? You know what? Listen to Peeves and Qs while you're watching the prequels. Don't listen to the prequels. You'll probably have a better experience.
Maybe we'll do a commentary and then they can watch them.
I heard that if you listen to Peeves and Qs while playing Phantom Menace, like the witch shows up at the same time that the witch shows up in Phantom Menace. I don't think I remember that movie.
Are you calling me a witch?
You didn't show up at that movie.
There's a witch in Phantom Menace?
Yeah, it was the Phantom. The one that was the Menace.
Bum, 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 bum.
Bum, 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 bum.
Gerard Butler played the witch. The Phantom. Wow, what is going on? Are you ready yet, please? Because we are driving over here.
He shouldn't have, though.
I am so ready.
Ramin Karimloo is the best.
Yes.
Yes.
The
Oh my
absolute
god.
Best. He played the Phantom of the Opera in the sequel, which was dreadful to Phantom of the Opera, not the movie. And also on Broadway, he did a version. It was the New York
Well, he
cast.
before he was cast as re-originating, I guess,
The
role of the
Phantom
Phantom
in Love
in
Never
Love Never
Dies,
Dies.
the sequel.
He's got his start in the West End as playing Raoul,
West End.
and then transitioned as into the role of the Phantom.
And there is this filmed version of
yes,
the stage show of Phantom of the Opera.
which they did after Love Never Dies came out. It's the 25th anniversary.
The 25th anniversary, which has Ramin Karimloo.
Yeah, Ramin Karimloo.
As the Phantom. He does an amazing job, although the stage managers are they're cartoons in that thing. I don't think it really
Speaking of
works.
cartoons, let's go to Peeps.
What?
I know, that was the worst transition ever.
This show is pretty
My
wacky.
peeve is
so-
showing these transitions.
So my peeve is people. If I were to sort of like narrow it down specifically,
I think it could just be this situation. It doesn't have to be this grand thing.
Yeah, without
I was
okay.
annoyed
Into
by
whatever
that.
you want.
My
yeah.
peeve is this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use his name because it's a generic enough name.
Sure.
I think.
Have we used this name before?
I
think
don't.
you might have talked
I
about
don't.
him on the
but I
podcast.
don't think I've ever mentioned him by name on the podcast.
Maybe.
I
Oh,
don't.
probably
I don't
not.
think. So there's someone that I know named Andy, and he's a good friend of mine. He's in the theater program with the two of us here.
That's Jordan.
Yep,
and,
one-time guest and myself.
One-time guest and the Quaffman. Yeah.
And he's at rehearsal last night. So they're on a break,
Yeah.
and he comes up to my girlfriend, who's the stage manager of the show, and she just sends me a random text at like 9:30 at night. So Andy just came up to me and said, quote, "If anything bad happens to you tomorrow, comma, I'll be there."
Ugh.
Like randomly?
Yeah, to her.
Like said
yes.
it randomly to her?
Right.
Yeah, to
like
her.
so actually so the text actually reads, so Andy just came up to me and gave me a really long a super long, super tight hug and said, "If something bad happens to you tomorrow, comma, I'll be here."
Yeah.
She then says that she asked him, "What does that mean?"
Yeah.
As she should.
And, you're right. And he then said to her, "If it happens tomorrow, we'll talk."
I already have some points. I'll wait till you're done.
Right?
I'm already stewing, and I just have the basis of information.
It's
This is how I felt when he was telling me the story. I was like, I have to know what's going on here. I'm very intrigued.
and so of course. So I'm like, what the hell does that even mean?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I don't know. Like, it's probably just Andy being over dramatic, and whatever. And I'm like, like, word choice is important, and Alex and I spent last night for like an hour, analyzing.
What does she
these,
mean?
Like,
what does that
texts.
mean? What did he say?
We were thinking, okay, what's going to happen tomorrow? He has rehearsal. No, she has rehearsal. He has this scene he has to do, so maybe it has something to do with the fact that they're both going to be at the school together. We were like drawing charts and putting pins.
How you guys handle that situation is how every single girl handles every single text message.
And so, she's just being like, whatever, because she says, because she responds with, now he's making me feel unnecessarily creeped out.
Yeah.
If he's worried about something happening, no idea what. Either give me a helpful warning or don't say anything. Don't give me that cryptic ass bullshit.
And I was
whatever.
Saying, and I was saying this is like I'm pretty sure this is somewhere on TV tropes where somebody delivers, hey, something bad will happen to you tomorrow. I can't do anything with that information. I'm just creeped out. And I can't do anything to avoid it.
So she makes a joke saying, "I'll keep my eyes peeled for a hitman."
For danger, yeah.
Yeah.
My spider's tingling.
I had a theory as to why Andy would say that, because there was a scene that I did today with Dominique, who's Andy's girlfriend, where we had to be very physical, very intimate, very vulnerable. And I thought maybe, he's thinking she won't handle that, but that's, kind of a really poor opinion of her.
That is,
to, think that as an actor she can't know that this is a scene and that's all that is. But she goes up to him again, and he replied again with, "I'll talk to you tomorrow if it happens." As it turns out, this was a personal thing about him that would potentially affect her in a minor way.
Yeah.
But that aside for a second, the language used.
Yeah, to make something.
Something bad. If something bad happens to you. So implying that there is something that is not good, that is already in motion, that could affect something, something that is brought upon someone.
Yeah.
That's specific language. That's a very specific
and
way of saying.
You pointed out yesterday, last night, that if this was an isolated incident, if this was something that something might happen, like a single event in time.
Yeah.
You have now drug out the beginning of that event.
This is now part of the event.
About it.
So now the event actually starts here, and her stress and worry goes all the way until whatever this event is. This is just part of the event.
And it might not even.
Right.
If it was...
And as it turns out, it's not even something that would even happen to her. It's something that he needed to work out with somebody else as far as whatever. And I'm not going to get into that because that's his personal business. Yeah. But it would affect her in a very minor way, more as, hey, this is a really crappy situation. I'm really sorry that you have to now deal with this. But it wouldn't be something bad happening to her. She wouldn't be in danger. She wouldn't be in trouble. She wouldn't be. It's just the lack of consideration for other people, when not being specific with your language or choosing to say things because you think you're being helpful, but in reality, you're just messing with people's heads.
Yeah. It's not cool.
Yeah, so that's...
So people who are over dramatic.
Yeah, right, exactly.
We run into a lot of those. A lot of people like that.
That's
that is a good peeve.
Yeah, that's a good one. That was an intense situation because you told me about it, and I was saying that obviously I don't want anything bad to happen to her.
Right.
But I also don't want this to be a very anticlimactic story where...
seriously.
Where I'm told,
Right, so, when I found out it was, a personal thing, I texted him, hey, as it turns out, it's a personal thing for him.
Yeah.
And you actually responded with, God damn it.
Yeah, I was upset. I was like, man, I was really hoping this would be something juicy that'd be like, oh, that's awful, but ooh, I'm really glad that I was involved in this.
I'm glad to know the narrative.
Yeah, it's a story that I was told.
It's a completionist thing. And I get that.
And
he loves a good story.
I'm glad that she's okay. I'm glad that everyone seems to be fine now.
Yeah.
So, but I also wish that this had been more conclusive
Yeah.
for me, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm
Good
not
peeve.
humble. Not humble.
Yeah, there it is.
So I will take the next one.
Take the reins.
Of course you will.
Yeah, because it's all about me, right?
Go ahead.
Because he's the humble host.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I am going to find one of them because I have a long list. So I'll make things a little lighter. So because we
okay.
So a little lighter. When you are drinking coffee in the morning, especially if you have a thermos and it's not from a mug, what you'll often find yourself doing is taking a drink and it's super hot because it just came out and you don't want to burn yourself, and so you're trying to use your inhalation of the coffee
to cool it off.
Cool it off.
Yep.
But since it's in a thermos, you can't see where the level of the coffee is.
Yes.
You know where
Yeah,
Yep.
totally.
Yes.
And so you start inhaling.
It's like a game, like
You start-
or like a roller coaster.
And at that point,
yeah.
you've exhaused the capacity of your lungs, and there isn't any coffee.
That's it. You fully breathe in to the point where you're like,
And then you're like,
and then you're like, oh, I'm so. And I always, because when I wake up, I'm super tired. That's why I'm drinking the coffee, and so I drink I drink this air, this nothing, and I just inhale, and then I'm like, not only am I out of breath, I'm exhausted from the effort, and I don't have any coffee. It is the worst situation. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna dump this out. I don't even want it at this point. I don't even want it. No, I don't.
I was gonna say
But-
you don't do that.
But boy, does that get me.
That's true.
That's
I
right
just
to my
hate. I just hate when it's so hot. And
Yo,
it's like you
That's
never
it.
know when it's gonna reach your lips.
Russian
Yeah.
coffee roulette or something
Yeah,
where you're
seriously.
drinking and it's like, I'm fine. Oh, my tongue is burnt. And
Yeah, and then you're
Because
just
it's
ruined.
never like, like your tongue just sort of
You're
like
like,
mix
oh.
it.
Yeah.
No, it's like
always
coats the entire
there's a
thing.
gulp.
You have a
Like it's
mouthful.
like- yes, you have a mouthful
of lava
burning coffee.
inside your mouth, and you're just thinking, kill me. That's it. Just kill me. I'd rather.
Jordan's just sitting back like, I'm so glad I don't drink coffee.
I do that with a hot chocolate at McDonald's every time I get one.
Ooh, that's
It's like,
Yeah,
can't-
really,
can't
any.
see.
yeah. Anything with a lid on it that's hot, you're.
I noticed that between you and I,
Uh-huh.
Alex.
Yeah.
I take pain and like heat more than you do, so I can
do.
only imagine that yours is like you said, like kill me. I'm
think-
just like, oh, that sucks.
I think
and
that's
move on.
I think that's a combination of two things. One, women can just handle pain better
Yeah,
than
we
men
can.
And two, if you don't know this, I am a ginger. I have orange, flaming hair, and
Yeah, you do. Anyway, sorry guys.
and I just handle pain worse than other people do. Anesthesia doesn't work as well on me.
You
so
metabolize it faster.
I need more.
You
of
need
it.
less sunlight.
It's true. It's true of a lot of things.
Just-
And alcohol, I think I process a lot quicker than most
metabolize
people
it.
do. So I need more drink to get where most people are sooner, which is super annoying because I feel like I'm drinking a lot more than everybody else is.
So you're taking in the caloric intake.
That too,
and then
and
you're
the
still
money.
not drunk. Yeah, and the money.
If we go to like a baseball game or something,
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, it's pointless to drink because I would have to spend either like $30 or more to get buzzed or more.
and I take like half of whatever you're doing,
and
just
Jody's
a sip of yours.
Jody just takes a few sips.
It's
She's
great.
like, I'm gone. I'm gooned.
Yeah.
That's a word you use.
Yep.
So being a ginger, I guess, is my peeve to this. But it's also
that
the
coffee one
thing.
is like huge,
That's-
or hot chocolate, tea, anything.
And I usually, the only reason I would have a thermos is when I take it to work or somewhere. If I'm at home, I'll use a cup. So I'm always in my car when this happens.
You still slurp your coffee.
Yeah, I'm not going to take a mouthful of flaming hot coffee. Remember the story I just told about getting a mouthful of coffee and it's super annoying? I don't want to do that. So I'm going to
Okay, well, I could waste a peeve and say that mine is when you slurp your coffee. Because you do, but I won't waste it on that.
You know what?
Can I move on to mine?
I'm feeling pretty tired. I want to get myself a cup of coffee right now. What's up?
It's really good that you and I aren't around each other in the morning.
Yeah,
drinking
you hate
coffee.
this.
I know, you hate that.
No, and that
Oh, no,
but
you
I
do
also
it.
do it.
Yeah.
That she's not here because it'd be in stereo.
Yeah. At least that would be consistent.
I'm not dating you, so it's not as much. It doesn't bother me as much. It's that like I have to spend the rest of my goddamn life with that.
Yes,
Sitting across the table
Yeah,
with your
like-
bowl of Cheerios, like, that motherfucker. I'm going to stab him one day.
With this spoon, I don't care.
I'm just gonna
It's
scoop
be
out his
so
eyeballs.
brutal.
Yeah.
How many of you can say you haven't bought the shovel? Who?
I mean, I could use the spoon for that too. It's a multi-purpose.
So you better just
Oh.
watch your fucking back.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm feeling pretty tired over here.
Better be alert in the mornings. That's all she's saying.
Oh, he's not.
No, I'm not a
He
morning
is
person.
not.
Oh, that's a
tell him how
topic
I
for a
wake
future
up.
purpose. You wake up like a Disney movie where you just fall upwards out of bed and there's cartoon birds singing around you.
I hate you.
Yeah.
I literally wake up, put my clothes on, like, get ready for the day. I'm like, okay, I gotta go. Bye.
That's what I do too, but here's what it is. Oh shit, I'm late.
Yeah, you're a monster in the morning. Like, not like physically, but like mentally.
No,
yeah.
If you've woken up to do this very podcast, and
you've been like
slurped out of bed and like oozed over to the table and been like, guys, why am I here? And you always do that, but it's genuine when you first wake up.
In those moments, it's very genuine.
I'll be like, good morning, Connor. He's like,
fuck yourself.
Dearest morning to you, Connor.
I just got out of work an hour ago.
I will kill every one of you in this room. And none of you survive. So, that's my peeve.
nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll probably bring us back down a little bit
Oh,
now
good.
that we've had that rousing.
This is an
rousing
emotional
one.
roller coaster of an episode.
You better have a good one.
Oh, mine's
lined
an
up.
upper.
Okay.
Yay!
good. Okay.
Full circle.
Mine, I don't know whether it's a peeve of other people or a peeve of myself. Went to work last Friday, so like at the end of the week we only work a half a day on Fridays, and so I'm like, all right, ready to go, ready to finish this work week and then go on with what I have to do. Get there, we have specific coats that we wear for the day. They're color coded, and we as an assistant, I don't launder them.
Are they color coded by like position or
No, by day.
By day.
Everybody
Okay,
wears
cool.
the same color.
Okay.
Just to be more uniform. I don't do the laundry, and I also don't hang up the scrub jackets into our lockers.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm not hygienists get there before us on Friday, so some people are already there. I'm the first one of the assistants to get there. Go pick up my jacket, change my shoes, whatever. Put on my coat, and it's not my coat. How can I tell? Because it's 2 fucking sizes too small.
Oh no.
And I'm the only one that wears this specific size in the office. So I'm like, okay, who has my fucking jacket?
Yeah.
Like I was pissed.
Uh-huh.
Why, like, there's that's what my peeve is. I'm like, why was I so angry that somebody had my coat?
Uh-huh.
Or that somebody didn't hang my coat up in my locker?
Because I think it was probably that. It was the carelessness in hanging up
Yeah.
the coat.
But what I was so angry at is that and then I went through all the other lockers to see if a different assistant had my coat. They didn't. So that means somebody was already wearing my coat. And so I was like, this person has no idea what the rest of my day is going to be like if I can't have my coat.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it's like for like skinny people, but they can wear anything. Like they physically can wear anything.
Sure.
Yeah.
I cannot. So I'm squeezing into this size, medium coat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I look fucking retarded and everybody's gonna know. So that's like a me thing. So that's why it's a peeve on me. But I was also so mad that I stuck a sticky note on my locker like, XL scrubs tops only, please. And then I found out who had my coat and we switched and I took the sticky note off my locker. But I was so pissed.
Uh-huh.
And I thought
Yeah.
I was gonna be in a horrible mood all day. That just makes me mad. Because I guess, I don't know what my peeve is. It's a couple of different things.
And it's kind of like that becomes your coat, right? If you're the only one who wears that size.
Yeah,
It's
like my
this
name
my
is
coat.
in that coat.
Yeah.
Like I wrote my name in that coat, which everybody else does too. So like the fact that my coat didn't get hung up
Why
in
wouldn't
my
everybody
locker.
just use their own coats?
Exactly. When you put on your coat and you're a size small and you're like, oh, this coat's fucking big. Why wouldn't you be like, oh, this isn't my fucking coat?
Yeah, it's really annoying. Shush.
So yeah. So that's my peeve.
Good one. Taking the glass job.
I'm
They
getting
can't hear
serious.
that, so I have to narrate.
So, my peeve is that I'm an idiot.
Ooh,
all
another
right, you wanna
internal
move on to
peeve.
question
Yeah.
Go on.
So, I am fairly recently single, like a couple months now, and I'm trying to get back into the dating game, and so,
Yeah, you are. I think that was wrong. No, I'm sorry. I had to take it back.
Quick question, dating game or having fun game?
either and or both.
Okay, whatever you want to do. What? What are you looking at me?
But anyways, so I'm in the lobby at the theater because I don't know if it's like a general theater thing or like a school theater thing, but you seem to have everyone gather in one spot.
Yeah.
For us, it's the lobby of our theater department. I'm hanging out there. There are other people there. One of them had brought a lady friend, not like a girlfriend or anything, just a friend that happens to be a chick.
How's she doing?
Well, we were hanging out, like the three of us talking, because this other student actor and I have a specific rapport.
What's her name?
I'm not going to say their names on the podcast.
When you make up
but like, can you not refer to her as the chick?
The chick, yeah.
The lady.
Well, I won't be from now on. I'll just be saying her.
Just call her like, I don't know,
Eileen,
soon
Sarah or
soon
Sam
soon
or
we'll be calling her my girlfriend, right?
Probably not, because
How's
that's
the
where the
story
story's going.
I want to know. Yeah.
So,
I can't wait.
so this other actor, his friend, and I are hanging out, kind of just talking. Well, he has to go and do something. He goes to get food. So her and I are just kind of sitting there. And since we had this brief interaction before, she was like, "So, you?" And I was like, "Oh, so you?" And we're talking about, she's a photography major. So I was like, "Well, what kind of photography do you do? Like, what's your style?" And she talked about how she's very into, like, street arts, capturing street art, hip-hop, dance type stuff. I am a huge fan of graffiti.
Yeah.
I love it. I love good graffiti on a burned-down building. It is beautiful.
It is.
And so I'm, of course, relaying that to her and telling her that the road I take to school, I see a lot of really great stuff. And so she says, and of course, it could be interpreted otherwise, but body language included, she says, "Oh, well, you should show me sometime.
Oh.
Like, nudge, nudge, ask me to go sometime."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, okay." End of conversation. I did not follow up with, "So what are you doing this weekend?"
Wow.
And I was like, and of course, in hindsight, I look back, I'm like,
Well,
you fucking idiot.
yes, but on the
No,
other hand,
absolutely not. I completely disagree. She's on your like line now,
Yeah.
and now you can reel it in.
But I might never see her again.
You can if you want to see
Jordan,
this chick.
if you
want to
make this,
chick. Yeah,
like you
you go
Girl,
out there and
this
you
woman,
fight for
this lady,
like you have
this chick.
Yeah.
this actor friend that we have.
who I'm sure has her number or
He
a
does,
way of,
by the way.
Or
contacting
his
her.
her Facebook information, which
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Why you're giving
Like
up way
this-
too easily?
But
Yeah.
anywho, my peeve
Okay.
is that, A, I'm an idiot, but more importantly,
You necked
the
her.
reason I didn't pick up on it was because she was hot.
Oh,
And that made you
I
brain go
mean-
gooey.
I am decisively not.
She's like a 12.
So, like, in my mind, it wasn't even a possibility. Like, I didn't even register that you could possibly... I was like, God damn it!
So I wasn't there. He told me about this shortly before the podcast, and like I was just being this objective,
Yep.
you know,
Conscientious
And I was
viewer
like,
or whatever.
was there actual body language, or is in hindsight are you trying
Are
to
you
put
just-
that
yeah,
there?
Are you trying to?
Make the story better,
I mean, so
right?
now I put that question forward again. Just
Well, like, it was... I mean, there's the tone, which is hard to reproduce.
It doesn't even matter what body language she used. If she said, "You should show me sometime,"
there's
that's
no-
enough. You
there's
don't
no
need
other
body
way to
language.
take that.
Speaking as a woman, you don't need.
Well,
no
but there's
body
a difference
language.
between the
Unless it's
hey,
sarcastic.
let's go out and, like, since I'm an artist and you're an artist, will you show me this cool
No,
thing? Or
no,
hey, do you
no.
want to go out
That's
sometime?
not a thing. That's not a thing. Females don't do that.
it is a thing, but she would have said it very differently if she had said, "Oh yeah, we should hang out sometime and like check out this art," and I can like, but she. What was the word how'd she say it?
You should show me sometime.
You should show me some. Yeah.
You and
Yeah.
I alone together
know
should show me something.
now.
Yeah, bud.
Hindsight 2020, guy. But
Well, I don't think you've lost your chance yet.
No, absolutely
I
not.
don't think so either. But either way, like, it at least put a damper on my weekend.
You know what you do? Here's what you do. You send her a Facebook message. Hold on.
I wouldn't do that.
No, I'm going somewhere.
yeah,
I'm going
person.
somewhere. I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
You send her a Facebook message that just has the word now. Then she gets a knock on her door, and you're standing there with
No,
flowers.
that's creepy.
You got it. You
No,
nailed it.
No,
I'll do it
that's
in a
too much.
heartbeat.
I wouldn't send her a friend request on Facebook,
No.
but I definitely would get her number.
Now, Alex,
Yeah.
let me explain to you.
What's up?
Next time I go on a date, I'm going full Mosby.
See?
But that's not full Mosby. That's
No, that's full stalker.
When
That's
are you
full-
going to
yeah,
go
that's,
full Mosby?
You don't even like that show, so you can't even make that comparison.
Yes, I can.
That's not the point.
Right now, baby.
Please stop.
Let's go.
That's full Stinson.
Well, that's been an
What are you
episode of Peeves and
doing?
Cues. I'm your humble host.
Yeah.
Not anymore, you're not. When you assume the role of host, you lose all humble.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
But
That's what made
but
me
don't
this
lose-
way. You all did this to
Yeah,
me.
don't lose hope.
Right,
Just
and I
be
didn't.
super
It's just
smooth.
that, like,
That you didn't register it immediately.
Yeah, that's frustrating.
missed opportunities. They're a real bitch.
Although I do feel like this is kind of a humble brag with you saying this hot girl hit on me and I did not pick up on it.
I mean, quite possibly.
That's an unintended consequence, but like you can be excited that like yes, someone I found incredibly attractive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wait
was
too
interested
long
in
because
me.
good-looking women, they turn their head a million times a day.
I know for a fact since I met her like a year ago, she's been out with like 3 different guys.
So you either need
That means you have a chance.
to hit it.
Oh,
I don't know
trust
if
me.
any of them were serious, but like
Well, my
if you
That was
no,
the greatest hand movement.
but
Nobody can see it.
But yeah, or no. But if you want it to be serious, you're gonna want to act now because
yeah,
again,
you
she is
need
very
to.
attractive.
So
Speaking of-
she will.
She's very friendly. She's very flirty. She clearly likes to go out.
Yeah.
So
It's like that episode of How I Met Your Mother with the window or whatever it was called,
Yes.
where that girl is finally
Yes.
single. So Ted's like, I gotta make my move now because by the time he gets there, she's already somebody
Right.
else.
Yep. So
Get it,
get on that.
man. You got it. That was Peeves. Anyone not go? You went. And then
I
you
went.
Okay, so you went.
Yeah.
We all went.
Thank you for making sure I
After
went.
the last episode, I feel bad about that. So, do we want to move on to questions? Does the Quackman want to start?
I don't want to start. No.
All right. Well, I can, but I need to find one because again.
I can start because I already have one.
Cool.
Okay, cool.
Might have to think about this a little bit, and it might be too wishy-washy or too girly or whatever. But when is a time that sticks out in your mind that you were the most proud of yourself so far? Which since we are young adults, none of us are married, none of us have children. It can really be anything, and so that's what I'm interested in hearing. Mine, I would have to say, besides graduating high school and college, was when I did the Miss competition at the school that you guys currently go to, which is more of an academic.
Yeah.
Um,
Delicate beauty.
yeah.
Or is it
versus-
I honestly haven't seen or
There were there were schools, 3 sections: school
Okay.
spirit, school spirit, job pursuit, and
Career
then
stuff.
formal, where you did dress up, but they asked you an intelligent question. I think, but. So yeah, I worked my ass off for that competition, and I went to all the practices, and I raised the most money because you could sell ads, because it was all to raise money for a scholarship that they gave out at the college that we were going to. So I sold all my ads, and I showed up to every practice. I had all my routines down and everything, and I performed really well. I answered questions intelligently, and then I didn't even get runner-up. I was like, what? But I had so many people come up to me afterwards and are like, I cannot believe you didn't win.
Yeah,
like, it was a
that's
shot.
True. That's true. Like, a ton of people came up and said that she did the best.
Yeah, so I felt really proud of that I could do that and raise that. I did win what award did I win?
I don't remember. It was so long ago.
It was only like 3 years ago.
You should
but,
remember.
yeah, I should. I won an award for selling the most ads and raising the most money for the scholarship. So, yeah.
Wow. And
But that was mine, and it took me a long time to get over that I didn't win, but I finally have been like, I still did like really good, and I was really proud of myself for that.
It sounds like a cliche, or you never believe it when somebody says you did win a victory, whether or not you actually got it. And I feel like this is true, because that was something that was probably very hard to do. But
It was,
you
yeah.
You did it, and you're a better person for having done it, and that is a victory. Whether I'm not saying you won the pageant or whatever the thing.
Yeah, it was a pageant.
But
Can you repeat the question one more? I just want to make sure that I'm understanding exactly.
What is the time that the moment that comes first in your mind when you were the most proud of something that you did or accomplished?
Okay, gotcha.
Okay.
Understand.
Okay.
So, where are we going? Are we going?
it's
If you got one, we'll go this way.
Yeah.
I do. It's a little deep.
That's okay.
Takes classes off.
So, the first time, so my dad's side of my family is very working class, blue collar, but at the same time they're quite successful. They have a higher income than the average, and I'm not very close to them because I grew up with my mom instead of my dad, and my dad and I aren't very similar, so we don't really hang out that much. But it was Christmas time a couple years ago, and so I decided to be a theater major. I want to be an actor. And then my aunt said, "Hey, what are you going to school for?" I was like, "Well, I want to be an actor." And the response I expected was, so what are you going to do with that? Like,
Yeah.
but the actual response they gave me was, they were expecting it. Because apparently when I was too young to remember, I would always tell stories like on car rides and stuff. And so my grandmother specifically was like, yeah, good. I was like,
That's nice.
That is a good one.
yeah.
That's real nice.
So that is a moment where I'm like, goddamn, that is a nice moment of victory. Yeah, so that's the deep one.
We gotta have it be tender and quiet for a moment because that was such a beautiful.
That
song.
was good.
Also, the first time I had sex.
Nice. Zing! No, that makes sense.
That's when you felt the most proud. What did you last, like 12 hours or whatever?
Without getting graphic, it was good.
The first time?
Did you?
Yeah.
Did
was
you
it
satisfy?
her first time as well?
Yes.
Did you say okay?
Yes to both questions.
Awesome.
What can I say? Some people are born with gifts. I got nothing.
Maybe you were born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Can we
Who's to
please
say?
move on?
Maybe it's making up for this face.
Maybe. Yeah. Face for radio, right?
Yeah.
What about you?
I think Jordan and I have mentioned this specific class before on the podcast called Actor Studio, where you go and it's really about your given scenes and you're working with partners, and it's really an advanced level acting class where you really just get to work.
Hone your craft.
Yeah, it is intense, and you workshop it with the class one day, and then you perform it like for a final, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, last year, my second scene, so the final scene that I had to do, I was given the big climax long scene from Doubt, where I got to work opposite of one of the best scene partners I've ever had from all the shows I've done, either at this university or outside the university or even in the class. Like really, truly, like this is like the best pairing I've ever had, and we did it. I mean, it's Doubt, and if anyone isn't familiar who's listening with Doubt, I'm the player of the movie. Go and watch the movie; it's fantastic. But yeah, we did that, and I had never put in more work into what I do. I had never been more invested. I had never felt as much like an actor when I did that, and then when we did it, it was probably the most satisfying experience of my life. Yeah.
Wow. It's really cool.
Yeah. So that's mine.
I like it. I guess it's my turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear yours.
So, this is a thing that happened recently where this is kind of going to be a shameless plug to something else that I did, but
Oh, go ahead. I thought of a different one, but go ahead.
Okay. Tyler, who's been on the podcast before, and future potential guest Doopy, I've told all three of you this story, but for the listeners, we had this YouTube channel where we would play video games and do commentaries over them, like a Let's Play. It's a popular thing on YouTube, and I like watching them, and I have a lot of fun. And I just wanted to hang out with my friends and do this thing, and we did, and it was really fun. And we didn't get any viewers for it. We played this video game called Rogue Legacy, which, by the way, is an amazing game. Everyone should go check it out right now. It's on Steam. It's super cheap. And we put out about, I don't know, 40-something episodes, maybe, something like that. And I think they were super funny. I think we did a great job, but nobody was watching them. We got no views. And something that happened a few months ago was the YouTube channel Game Theory had a AMA, Ask Me Anything, on Reddit, where he was just answering questions that the fans would ask him. And I asked, how do you get people to watch your stuff when you first put it out there? Because me and my friends have this YouTube channel, and I posted a link to it, and we've had no views. And most of the stuff that I've done, I put, like, for example, this very podcast, you put it out there and just nobody's listening to it. Yeah, that'll change. And how do you get people to hear about the thing that you're doing if you're not putting in billions of dollars for marketing and making advertisements? And he never responded. Nobody did. So I got nothing from that. But a couple days ago, I checked the email for that account that we used, the Mr. Ed Productions account that we used to put stuff up on there, because I hadn't in a long time. And somebody had actually left a comment on the most recent video that said, wow, I found out about this channel through the Game Theory AMA, and this series is super funny. Like, you guys are amazing. You could be the next Game Grumps. I hate saying that because it feels like I'm bragging, but that's just what he said. And it was super just amazing to hear somebody else say this thing that you put out. Like, I'm a huge fan of. I subscribe to your channel because of it, and I wish that you had more episodes. It's a shame that this one, the most recent episode, is so long ago. And I was like, I didn't cry or anything, but I was like, I've never been more happy about a thing that I've done, like reaching out and affecting somebody else. That's never happened to me before, and this was super amazing to hear. So what?
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, things that you say that, it makes me so sad because I do a lot of stuff like that reach a lot of people, not online, but like high schoolers or theater or whatever like that. But so it's just makes me sad that you don't experience that all the time because you should, because you do a lot of stuff. But
yeah, but I don't know. It's this thing. It's these things that I do for like I go and I do things at the theater for fun, and I enjoy hanging out with the friends, and then everyone enjoys it, but it's like a community thing almost, where they enjoyed the show, they might not have enjoyed me, and even if they single me out, I'm like, oh, that's really nice, I appreciate that you said that, but it's just something that I do for fun. It's not something that I'm passionate about.
You, as an artist, created your own work,
yes,
and someone was like, that's good shit.
Yes.
You were validated, and
yeah.
You know what? Artists spend their entire academic career being told, don't seek validation. Don't seek validation. Do the work. Don't seek the validation.
Yeah.
But it still feels so good.
That's the human race. Why else would we do it? God.
Right. If we were just interested in telling stories, we would write stuff down and lock them up somewhere. We want people to read our books, and we want people to see our movies and our web series where we play dumb video games. No, great video games, but we're dumb when we play them. So we're starting that channel back up again, and you can find it on YouTube, Mr. Red Productions.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. There it is. That's
a humble plug right there.
By the time you hear this on Friday, it won't be out, but that's the day that we're recording them. So maybe over the next couple days they will start rolling out. So look for that, Mr. Red Productions on YouTube, and you can see the rest of the series there. It's still up. So I was very humbled by that. People just being like, you.
I literally almost cried at every single one of your stories. Nice. I'm like, oh my gosh, guys.
Whew. Okay. So that was very recent, but that's probably the month that I was most proud of.
Good questions. Good questions.
Now it's your turn. On the spot. Ask me the question, Bridgekeeper. I'm not afraid.
Nice.
Leans into microphone.
Don't peek.
All of us being, to some varying degree, theatrical people, what is the show that you want to do? Period.
Huh.
I hate you.
Okay.
I hate you so much.
And what's
similar
yours?
To your last question, my favorite musical, isn't it? Favorite
no,
musical?
Mine's completely different.
I was gonna say that's just watching. Like, I'm talking like you get to be in it or direct it, and like why that particular piece is the one that you would want to build a career on.
Okay.
I didn't answer your question right then the last time you did because I hate watching shows.
Yeah, you do.
I only think of shows with me in them. Talk about humble. But anyway, go ahead and answer yours.
I rescind my my anti-humble groan.
If there were one show that I were like, yeah, that's where I want to start my career, that's the one that I just like so love. It's actually this musical called Murder Ballad, and I think I might have even said it last time.
Maybe.
But
I can't remember.
It is this really beautiful, heartbreaking story, but that's what I love.
Yeah.
About this, so there's a woman who has a boyfriend, and they break up, and she meets a new guy, and they get married, and they have this daughter together, and they have this beautiful, like, dream life together. But she feels empty because she feels like she's useless, and she's getting old, and so she reconnects with this old flame, and then this other shit happens. It's this really fantastic tale, and it's set to, like, punk rock music. I'm just like, yes. Yeah. If there were a show...
Specific character.
Honestly, I could either play Tom or Michael, but if I were to pick one, I would want to play Michael, just because it's more naturally my artistic style. When you talk about characters, an easy way to break them down is if they are head, heart, gut, or groin.
Yeah. Sorry.
And of course, Michael is very heart, which when I get cast in things, it's usually to do that. Mm-hmm. But I do have a good bit of head and groin that I can activate when I need to. so I could play Tom, but I would love to be Michael because he gets some really beautiful stuff. Plus, his whole character background is a PhD in poetry, and I consider myself a pretty good poet.
Yeah.
So I would love to do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's my show that, like, I would quit. I would not do another show in order to do that show.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I know yours.
You don't, actually.
Throw me for a loop.
The show that... Can you again repeat your question?
What is a show? And I'm going to reword it a little bit just to
Okay.
make it more clear.
Yeah.
Connor,
What
you
is
get
a
two lifelines left.
Yeah.
What is a show that you would drop another, like, not necessarily quit, but, like, you would pick it over doing any other show?
If I were given the opportunity to either...
I want to know the character too. Like, I'm going to tie that in.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
If I were given the opportunity to either act or direct in a play by Neil LaBute, The Way We Get By, yeah, it's that. There's only two characters. It's just this. I can't. Oh, that's terrible. I can't think of their names at the moment because it's actually been a little bit since I've read it.
Male, female
it's
character?
male,
Okay,
female.
so
and
obviously.
so Neil LaBute. So in order to really talk about that, I have to talk about Neil LaBute as a playwright. He is a guy that is not afraid to examine people as they are and not romanticize the human condition. He doesn't. I don't think he writes bad people. I think he writes people, and the play is about their flaws.
Yeah.
And so you can imagine a lot of what he would write about and incorporate would be dysfunctional relationships, dysfunctional love, or inappropriate love, or destructive love. But this is, I think, the only romantic play he's ever written, and it's still even kind of fucked up. But it is just this lovely, beautiful love story that is just about these two people in this time and place, and they have to make a decision: are they or aren't they going to be together? And it's utterly amazing, and I would love to direct or do it or be in it as an actor.
Is this a musical?
This is not a musical.
So it's a straight play.
This is a straight show.
Yours was a straight show?
Mine was a musical.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Rock
mine is
music.
just a standard play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very good.
All right, cool. Well, I have a few. Can I give a few, or do I have to
one.
just one?
You have to pick
You
the
have to
one.
pick.
I was going to give an honorable mention.
Yeah,
but
because otherwise my list is like a page friggin' long.
Right.
And because then Jordan did rephrase it to, you would do this over everything else. You would leave other projects to do this.
Well, there's only ever been one answer for me, and that's Rent. That show speaks so much to everything that I'm about. The message of the show, the characters, everything about it is just... I feel like it's written for me to love, because I do. I love it.
You're just Mark to a T.
Yeah,
Just,
and the character of Mark, I've never like experienced another character that I've been like, that's literally me in almost every sense of the word. There's
physicality, everything.
physicality, the emotions of the character, the vocal range is just right where I'm at. Not that I wouldn't love to play any character on that show, like Roger, which I'm not that character type, but I think all the characters would be I would do a really good job at. So Rent, above and beyond anything else. If there was Rent or any other show, I'd be like, oh, I'm not doing that. Even if I wanted to do that, I would do it. I would also, I'm going to say an honorable mention for American Idiot, which I know I mentioned both of these plays last time, but that would be just because I would love to get up and sing Green Day songs to the audience. Why wouldn't anyone love that?
Why don't you just be a cover band?
I was literally just going to say that.
I can,
You guys, we could form a cover band of Green
This is a great
Day.
idea. This is a great idea. But then you guys would want to all be singers because you're all singers, except maybe you.
Except that American Idiot's not that great of a musical.
Whatever.
No, but
No, it's not. It's terrible.
But I get
It
to
is.
sit on.
But the music, yeah, it's pretty good.
Like, I friggin' love the album American Idiot and the songs that they pull from 21st Century Breakdown. It's fantastic.
I think they do a good job in the show. I think they're.
I think the music of the show is fantastic.
It is.
It's everything.
I was gonna
else.
say, I'm sure the story is shit, but
It's
The
god
story,
awful.
the story is pretty much just the story from the album, but just with a few extra subplots thrown in. Like one of the guys goes to war, and one of them stays at home for his pregnant girlfriend, and it's a little weird. But
And there are a couple actual scenes, and it's
barely. I saw it, and it's like there's a few spoken words, but that would be awesome. I also Jody brought up recently this movie called Repo: The Genetic Opera, which I've been a huge fan of for years,
Yeah.
and I have ever since I saw it. I wanted to see how I could transition that onto the stage and make it. And it would be really weird because there's a lot about it that's very specifically, this is a movie. It wasn't a stage show first, but I would like to adapt it into a stage show, like and direct it, because there are a few things that I would love to do there. I think would be really cool. So that's my answer.
very good.
Rent, above and beyond anything else. I love that show. No Day But Today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Mine, I'll throw out my honorable mention of a role that I have played that I probably could play my entire life, and it's such a shitty show, Clue the musical.
Oh.
And I could play Miss Scarlet my entire life and be perfectly happy. But if I got to choose a part in a show that I would want to do that I haven't done, it would be Wednesday Addams from the Addams Family musical. Yeah. Because I've always loved Addams Family. It dates back to, early TV time, and it's just something that I've always liked growing up, and, it's gone through so many variations of it, and now it's reached Broadway. But Wednesday Addams specifically, not Morticia, even though there's no way that I could be cast as Wednesday Addams. I'm way too freaking tall and large. But her specifically, because she's just so, cold.
Yep.
And she just seems like such a good character. She's passionate but cold at the same time.
Yeah, it's the character's a little bit different. They changed the character just slightly.
Well, because she's older.
Yeah, typical Wednesday Addams that you know from Christina
the
Ricci.
thing.
From
Christina Ricci, yeah.
The musical of the Addams Family is her coming of age story.
Yeah,
her
right.
choosing not to be just another.
She's a
Another
little
part
grown
in
up,
the weird family.
The story is Wednesday Addams meets this boy Lucas.
Who is traditionally not like the Addamses.
Right, he's normal, quote unquote.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a great musical. Give it a listen.
Yeah, I love it. Pulled in a New Direction is right in my vocal range, and I always think of myself, if I was on Broadway, I would still have another frickin' job, even though I probably wouldn't. But you could go, I can be this person that I normally am, and then you just slip right in, be cold and passionate at the same time, and that's what I would like to act every day of my freaking life.
Can I throw in an honorable mention?
Sure.
I would love to be Annie. It's not my character type or my vocal range, but I'd really love to be Little Orphan Annie. I feel like
We talked about this on the last podcast. You're talking about Anakin Skywalker, right? Little Orphan Annie.
Annie!
no. Although I have thought about writing an Anakin Skywalker musical that makes up for the prequels, I would call it Annie, and it would be about his transition into hatred as opposed to being this guiding Jesus figure into being this evil figure. But that's just because I think the prequels fucked it up.
I think you should tell an Obi-Wan Kenobi story where he has this friend who's
a jackass.
Who's just he doesn't start out that way. Like that's what the prequels did. They made him whiny from the beginning, but
Which is atrocious.
If they have him be earnest and he wants to be good, but he's pulled to the other side, and Obi-Wan's...
Pulled in new... Sorry.
Yeah.
Or, if someone would like to, they can look up Star Kid's version of Annie.
Yeah.
Which
Wait, they did Annie?
They did an Annie, but it's about Anakin Skywalker as Darth Vader trying to reconnect to his childhood.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's supposed to take place before the Death Star blows up in the original movie.
I'd like to change
Spoilers.
mine. A Harry Potter musical. I would do that show.
Oh my god,
Who would you
yes,
play?
right?
Ron.
Who would you want to play?
Harry, but I would never get cast as Harry because he's cool.
But that's
real
not
cool.
the point.
That wasn't the question.
Fuck, I would
Oh,
never
well,
be
then-
cast as anything that I want to be cast as.
Me either.
No, I think that is part of the point. If you were given the opportunity, there's still,
I mean, yeah, you'd be more drawn to things that you think you could do well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, a Harry Potter musical would be a shit fun. You know what? Bringing in non-canonized musicals, things that don't officially exist.
Yeah.
Twisted by that same group.
Yeah.
I would love to play Jafar in Twisted.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's like
Is that a
Wicked,
Disney
but
one?
for Aladdin.
Yeah. I feel like nothing will ever top a Harry Potter musical.
Well, no.
Everything about that is perfect. And I've seen a few of the other things.
I was gonna say
these
even
are really
even
good,
the
but-
Batman one, like
Which it was really good, but it was like it was about an 8, where Very Powder Musical's an 11. It was better than perfect. I love that show.
Look up Star Kid. They're pretty fucking good.
They are good. They're on YouTube.
look up all the musicals and shows that we just mentioned.
You have some homework to do before the next podcast, you guys.
Pop quiz.
Pop
Yeah.
quiz.
We should do a pop quiz episode.
Well, yeah.
when we have followers.
When we have listeners.
We'll give you shout-outs if you get the answers right in the comments.
Yeah. That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whose question was that? Yours. So now it's your turn.
Quaffman.
So, I do have a question, but I haven't been really able to form it
Yeah.
into like a proper
I know what
like
you're talking
question.
about.
I have the idea of the question, so bear with me. Has there ever been a time where you have been pushed beyond your understanding of your own capabilities? And if so, did you actually go beyond what you thought you could? And that's in any capacity. Doesn't have to be necessarily creative.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So mine. I'm an actor. Mine is creative.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
I'm really sorry. No, actually, no. I'm gonna go a little more personal. No, I'm gonna go personal.
Please.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Please do.
personal. Year and a half ago, I was engaged.
Yeah.
Yep, year and a half ago, I was engaged. I'm not anymore.
going here.
That happened literally overnight.
Yep.
Like literally Sunday, everything was fine. Monday by lunch, my 4-year relationship, 2-year engagement was over. We were getting married in June. This was the end of February. I moved out. I almost dropped out of school just for that semester so I could like deal with my shit. But really, honestly, that program is what saved me.
Yeah.
I went to a really bad place. Like, I was not okay for months, and I tried to deny that I was okay. And so here's how I was challenged. Deadlines for school,
Yeah.
deadlines in life, and on top of that, other people's expectations of you, like what like you as a person can give to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to find a way to articulate this.
Yeah.
But going through that and then having to do all of that and discovering things about her
Yeah.
in the process of like a couple weeks, like many things were found out, and just having to go to school and have deadlines and all of that, and then coming out of that and going, I am better for having gone through that. Not just because the relationship truly wasn't great,
Yeah.
but I am a different, better person because of that adversity.
Yeah.
So, doesn't have to be as deep as mine.
You completely are, and it's so. It was awful. I didn't see you.
God awful.
I didn't see you much during that transition period for you, but
Yeah.
but we were. I think we were there the day that you were supposed to get married, and that was a hard day.
Yeah.
But since then,
oh yeah,
it's
I
been-
forgot about
It
that.
has
Yeah.
been nothing but up
Yeah.
since that
Oh
day.
yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, shit. Now you are like not only about to graduate soon, but you're like considered a leader in the department. You have a good relationship now. Like, not only did you handle it, but
You
shit,
took it.
man.
You took it by the balls.
You're
and
winning.
Made it you.
I'm
yeah.
considering if I should put like the Superman score underneath this as you're talking slowly.
the real one or the new shit one.
No.
If you're
the
classifying
only
one as the real one, why would I ever go with the other one?
The other one.
Specifying that.
Because for some reason you like DC movies. I don't know.
Hey, DC movies are garbage, but I love DC. All right,
Right.
I love DC. So I have
that
to
is
love
a
DC
topic
movies.
for another day.
Yeah,
Okay.
No
Great.
day but
Well, I'll
today.
hand this off to whoever wants to.
I'll go.
Yep.
Okay. That was really good. That was
Thank
really
you.
good. I like when we can bring it to a
To a real
deeper
place.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the question was.
The question was.
Okay, Connor.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I was so lost in what he was saying. Oh, I got it.
Have
Yeah,
you ever
okay.
thought you could go beyond your...
Have you ever been pushed or challenged?
Yeah, I'm feeling like a really shallow person this episode because I feel like a lot of my answers are like not emotionally deep.
That's all right. You're kind of...
Yeah.
kind of like that. You don't
No.
share personal stuff.
No, no, it's not that I'm not sharing. It's that I'm trying to think of a situation.
You yourself block your bad memories, and so you don't wish to share them.
I guess. But the one that I will say, and this isn't even a bad question, but story time. When I was 17 years old, I was part of this program that it was a choir program where I went for a week to train at this camp and learn these songs with a bunch of people, and then we got on a plane and we flew to Europe, and we were there for a month just touring and singing for people, and it was an amazing experience. I'm so glad that I got to experience that. This was one of my contenders for like proudest moment, and we had two performances that we would alternate between. One was this song by Brahms, his German Requiem. Is an amazing piece, but at the time I never would have listened to it because it's classical music and why would I care about that? But having like heard it, I'm like, this is moving and it's really good, but it's long. It's like an hour and a half long, and we had to stand on stage, and there's like 5 acts to it, and it's all in German, and we had to stand on stage and do this song, singing what was essentially to us nonsense. I don't want to sound insensitive, but a different language, you don't know what it's saying. We knew what the lyrics were, but these were just sounds that we were making, and I didn't know if I would be able to do that. Oh, the other set was just a series of songs, some of which were contemporary, some were like older songs, but they were just shorter, regular songs. And I didn't know that I would be able to stand on stage and do this, especially as it got harder and harder to sing as it went on, because it would get more and more intense and your voice would get, and like our first actual performance in front of an audience, I just felt so, I got like performance high while I was doing it, and I felt like I could go on forever, and the end came, and like we did these final notes of the song where I was in the bass section because at the time I had a really low voice. Now I'm more of a baritone, but
you were in like fortissimo and like going at it.
And the last bit was like so big and powerful, and I feel like I really brought it, and it sounded really good. We have like recordings of it, and that was something that I didn't know I'd be able to do well, and to do it and get like standing ovations, and everyone was like cheering and clapping, and that was I didn't know that I would be able to bring that out, and I was able to do that, and that was amazing. Plus, I really wanted to at some point talk about the fact that I went to Europe, because I think that was really cool. I'm trying not to sound pretentious about this. There's no way to say I went to Europe.
So life went step up, and you went, yes, let's.
Yeah, seriously.
And then you succeeded. It was like,
Yes.
all right, yes, let's, and oh shit, well now I know.
Because for a 17-year-old American white kid to be put on a plane, go to a foreign country, and travel around and stay with these host families and sing to a bunch of people in their native language and like bring what they already have back to them, and to succeed in that, I didn't think that I would be capable of that. And to think back and the fact that I did, I'm like, whoa,
that's great.
Was that me? That was like, I saw that in a movie, right? That wasn't like, but man, it's crazy that I was able to do that. So that's my answer.
Mine's not going to be a happy subject.
Okay.
Back in, must have been May, Alex's mother and I got into it pretty heavily.
Yeah, that is true.
And it started actually before that. I just finally was fed up with how she was treating Alex. and how well she was treating her other children, and even taking in other family members and treating them better than Alex.
Yeah.
And so I just, up until that point, I felt like the good, quote-unquote, daughter-in-law that I should be. And I just thought that's what daughter-in-laws did. They just did whatever their boyfriend's mom wanted and, went shopping with them and cared for them, and all this bullshit stuff. And finally I just went, okay, I really don't like this. My family doesn't treat, me that way, and Alex can see that, and so he's finally starting to see that he shouldn't be treated that way either. And so I stopped coming around. I stopped hanging out at his house. If I did come over, I walked right into his bedroom and didn't leave, and because I couldn't face her anymore and be this fake person that she wanted me to be.
Yeah.
And so one night she's just like, drunk and crying.
And I texted her and said, like, my mom's in tears.
Oh,
like,
and
she thinks that you hate her or something. And you just texted back, I'm coming over. And I was like, please don't. This is super weird. But it turns out, like, in retrospect, it was a really good thing. Because
I don't think that, but
I do.
You can think that. So I go over there this night, and I sat there and I listened to her say these awful things about me and tell me that, not only say bad things about me, but also say, defend the fact that she wasn't treating Alex badly. And then also took another jab at me and told me that I wasn't good at my job at the high school.
Wow.
Because her daughter was in that, program, and she had shit to say about it.
And she was...
What does that have to do with...
My younger sister was the only person that my mom talked to in that theater department, and so her perspective was the only one my mom was getting.
But what I'm saying is, what does that have to do with the issue that was brought up?
Nothing.
It didn't.
But
it was okay.
But it's another just stab at me. So I sat there, and I took everything that she had to say to me, and I, and hashed out some stuff. And I couldn't take it, and I did end up, lying to her that, everything will be okay. Mm-hmm. Went to bed that night, and, the next couple of days, just what am I doing with my life? Started doubting myself on how I had been raised, and how I should have, maybe I should change, maybe I should be nicer, maybe I should be that, person to her again. Mm-hmm. And I finally, pushed through that and said, no, I like who I am, and I'm confident in who I am and who I'm going to be. And just because you bore the person that I love the most, I'm not going to change for you.
Yeah.
So that was my push moment.
Yeah. I know you were going through a lot after that, so it was really nice to see, you get better from that. For lack of a better term, I guess.
Yeah. So that was definitely mine. Mm-hmm. My push moment.
Mm-hmm. That's deep. This is a real deep episode.
Yeah.
Not that that's a problem. I like it. Are you going to bring us up, or are you going to...
Bust out the shovel. We're getting a little deeper.
Awesome. I love it.
Gosh, guys, I can hardly get through mine. I can't believe I didn't cry.
Me too.
So I feel like this question can get to some pretty low places, and... I don't know. Well, I feel like it's
now the reason I asked the question. This was not supposed to be an exercise necessarily in look like this. This is a low. This is my low point. I mean, sometimes it is.
And it obviously wasn't.
Right. Exactly. When in your life have you been asked by life or a person to step up? Give more than what you thought you were capable of, and if you did, what was that? What?
Right.
And for some people, that was getting to a really low place and then getting through it.
Right. I think that's for most people that are like that.
I'm extremely lucky in how my life has gone so far. So we can go over.
We'll be okay.
This is a lot of stuff that I haven't told very many people. In fact, just 2 or 3.
Oh. Do you want
now
to...
you're telling many
Yeah.
Hey, no one's gonna listen to this show.
Okay.
I don't know. It's you know what? It can be out there. There's nothing to gain from not talking about it.
Whatever you don't want to talk about, don't talk.
Yeah, really. Like,
but yeah. So, but for backstory, my mother had 2 children. Me and my older sister. My older sister died when I was 2. So when I was growing up, I would hear stories about her, but I didn't really know her because I was 2.
Yeah.
When I was a young boy, around 7 or 8, I had this dream where what I, at the time, thought to be an angel came to me and told me that I was going to do like really great things, that I was going to be this great person. And it was my sister, like, culminating this angelic presence in my dream. And so that's when this seed started in my head that, you know what, I need to achieve greatness. There is no mediocrity, there is no average. It's either greatness or failure. So then I proceeded with my life. Well, some other bad things happened. You know, my mom and my first stepdad got divorced, and then he killed himself. And so that was when I hit my lowest point, and I just gave up. I didn't really have friends. I legitimately failed every class in school. Not a single passing grade on the board. And then I moved schools, and things got a little better, but still not great, because at the time my mom was starting this relationship with my current stepfather, and he had 3 kids, all of whom were like A.B. students. They were involved in sports. They were the golden children.
Yikes.
And here I was, this depressed piece of shit, failing school, barely getting through. But then, after many years of struggle,
puts glasses back on.
Not only did I like get through school, I mean, I was never a great student. I'm still not now. I'm just not an academic type. But I managed to get through school, not only being involved in pretty much everything at one point or another, but creating groups and clubs, having a broad circle of friends, being a genuinely pretty good person. I mean, I've got my mistakes and my regrets, but for the most part, I'd say I'm a pretty good guy. And now I am this full-time student pursuing a career that I love, good enough at it to make a profession out of it, and maintaining a full-time job. And, you know, I got my shit together. I haven't achieved greatness yet, but goddamn it, to go from there to here is like, God.
And you've achieved more than most people do.
Yeah.
That's seriously, true. We all have a common friend that can't say that, so.
Right, yeah. You're on this incredibly successful podcast that everyone listens to and downloads.
Right.
So
you know what? That monologue had better get, like, retweets. Like, I want people to quote me on Twitter and twit out there that I, like, oh man, hashtag...
he shall overcome.
Hashtag destined for greatness.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Hashtag one-time guest.
Yes.
Hashtag one-time guest. Guys, I smell a t-shirt.
Yes.
Wow.
But yeah, so... Yeah,
Hashtag one-time guest
So you
forever.
that general, like...
So that pushed you.
That perseverance from the first half of my life being a pretty rough start...
Yeah.
Into this, what I will call the second half, not because I'm going to die soon, but because I've
because
only
you've
been
only
alive
lived.
for 21 years.
Right.
But that second half really just fucking doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use that for fuel on a daily basis?
Generally, yeah.
Yeah.
There are times that
I
I'm
use
just
mine
like,
too.
I can do this.
No, you don't use yours on a daily basis.
No, I just have, that is what I use for my motivation is like a history of failure and just not getting things done. So when I have an idea like this podcast, I'm like, guys, let's hang out and do this podcast. And then if things start to go a little dry, I'm like, guys, we need to get together and do this podcast because otherwise it just won't happen.
Right.
Not because none of us want to do it or anything, but just because...
I mean, I am literally chained to this table right now. I'm not.
You're the exception. That's why you're our one-time guest.
Yeah.
You don't count.
Right. They say one-time guest, not because I'm in one podcast, but because I have not moved from this table. Guys, I need help.
It's one-time guest. This is the same time.
Yeah. Guys.
Good.
For him.
Yeah, we've gone out and done things. He's just been here alone, hungry.
Good job.
Wow.
Guys.
So,
Fantastic
And
question.
Alex,
What's
bring
your-
us home.
Yeah. Am I the last one?
Yeah.
You ask? Okay, wow.
I'm so concerned on whether I asked a question or not. Yeah, I started it.
Yeah. What's your favorite Pokemon, you guys? No, I'm not going to ask that one.
Oh, God.
That's a great
I think we
question.
already
Palate
did that one.
cleanser.
I think
For
we already
passionate
did that one.
debate.
I know we
don't
talked about Pokemon
I don't
once.
think it was us.
Nope. We did not.
So, movie / TV tropes that you hate seeing. Besides, I'm going to say, besides being unrealistic, movies being unrealistic, because...
Well, that's not a trope, that's a genre choice.
Well, not just, I mean, like, we talked in the last episode about, like, attractive actors being in shows, and people are like, well, that's not how real life is. Well, who cares about that? Let's just move on from that. So, I always hate when a character in a movie, especially a TV show, gets pregnant.
Dang it, you stole mine.
Sorry. Because, I don't know, something about it is...
stupid.
Something about it is like, how long are we going to have this plot line where she's pregnant for?
Because that's all women
you
can
all
do.
know what the beats of that plot line are.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
If it's
That's
a
all
sitcom,
women
there's
can
gotta
do
be-
is get pregnant
Yeah.
and have abortions. That's
Yeah.
all we can ever do.
Oh, you can get raped too.
Yep, So all sexual acts,
Yeah.
I guess, if you
Because
consider.
that's the female contribution, isn't it?
I guess that's it. Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Right.
Obama.
Thanks for
No,
spreading
just
your legs.
kidding.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's not so. It's not about that specifically. It's more about.
That's what mine is, so I don't have to answer it.
Yeah. Okay. Great. How much screen time could you give to more interesting, less trotted over plot lines? And then they like have the baby, and now it's like there's this baby character in the show now that they have to always be working around, and it never feels like the screenwriters or the point of the show is ever let's incorporate this child into the narrative and everything. It's more so, now we have to like just have this kid around because we can't just get rid of the kid, even though
You could.
yeah, and some shows do.
Like Archer.
Okay.
Like Game of Thrones.
Spoilers. I would say the one show that I don't get me wrong, I still had this for, but they did a good job of it is Breaking Bad. I probably am biased about that because I love that show so much, but they started out the show with Skyler, Walter White's wife. She was pregnant, and she had the baby, and then throughout the show they did a good job of having that child be a part of what the show was supposed to be, because it makes sense. He's doing everything for his family, and so they were able to make this baby part of what the theme of the show is about: family versus
Make math, yeah.
meth. Yeah, family versus meth, the classic narrative trope.
Mm-hmm.
But I was still when I still started that show, I'm like, she's pregnant, so we're gonna have her give birth, and there's gonna be a situation about that, and then the baby's gonna be there, and we have to do this whole thing. And it's kind of like
There's gonna be an "Are you in this?" scene.
yeah.
There's gonna be a where are you having this goddamn baby? Because apparently an elevator is the best place to have one, or the back seat of a taxi or whatever.
Although elevator babies grow up to be the best babies. I don't know what I'm saying.
Were you born in an elevator?
Probably. Yeah.
You weren't even born, so don't even
Stop
get
with
me that.
Yeah, guys, I was hatched.
Well,
No,
the
you
best
were
thing about
ripped
elevator
out.
babies,
Okay.
they like to get down.
Oh, nice.
Were you an
Stop it.
elevator baby?
No.
No.
It's Connor. You and I have talked about how superheroes' origin stories, particularly Batman and Spider-Man, that we've
Both
seen.
elevator babies. I'm just kidding.
Wow. Yeah, both elevator babies. Historically proven. You can tell an amazing Batman origin story, but I don't care. I will still love it, but as it's happening, I'll be like, another Batman origin story. How many times have we seen this?
Yeah.
And that's really annoying.
Definitely. I'll just touch a few more on that because mine was going to be the exact same answer. And I'll play this female card all day long. It's just like, okay, that's literally the only thing I'm allowed to do is to get pregnant, because I kind of get it because it fucks up your life if it's unexpected.
Yeah.
Or
Like me.
And it is dramatic.
yeah, and labor is dramatic and all that stuff. So and every 50% of the
But
population
it
goes
always
through
feels
it. So.
inflated. Like it
It
feels
does.
like you're inflating. Like
It's like most women.
Like
I think-
women, like women's uteruses, they just get inflated.
Nice. I think most women, they get pregnant and then they have a baby and then it happens. But because it's a TV show or a movie, it has to be bigger. And
It has to happen,
Yeah.
which is what pisses me off. Like, of course.
I don't know when else to like bring this up in the podcast. I don't think it's a peeve or a question, so I just want to like touch on it now. But I think movies and TV shows have this thing where the end goal is a character dying. Like, we're leading up to that. So, for example, Game of Thrones has, I'm not going to spoil anything, but a lot of things have happened in that show that only happen to get to a character dying. For example, there's like a wedding that happens in season 2 that...
God, was that only season 2?
Well, Okay, I guess I'll have to like get into some details, but Rob and Talisa, 2 characters, they get married in season 2, and the payoff for that is, again, huge spoilers. I don't know. You know about this?
I know about it.
Okay, both of those characters die, and it's a result of that wedding. It's a result.
And she was pregnant. God damn! Like,
she was pregnant, yeah.
It all just goes.
So I often get really, as a writer, I'm always like, is that what? I don't feel like that should be the end goal of like we shouldn't be. We're going to have this big moment where these 2 characters get married, and that's going to be the payoff of this story.
You hate life milestones more than anyone I've ever met.
No, that's not what I'm even talking about.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I think that's where it stems from, because you hate lifetime milestones.
I don't hate life milestones. I think they're important. I think getting married is archaic and outdated, but that's completely separate.
That's just one man's opinion.
That's just
most men's opinion. But that's just one man's opinion.
So it's really, because if a character dies, usually that's the end of their character arc, so they can't lead anywhere else. But
So I don't really have anything to talk about anymore. So
sorry, you'll come up with something.
One-time guess.
One-time guest. Movie tropes that you're just sick of seeing.
So now that I've made people like all sympathetic towards me, let me make them hate me.
Great.
Perfect.
Real Game of Thrones situation.
So me.
Yeah, you'll probably hate this.
Yeah.
But that's okay. You probably know where I'm going.
I don't.
I'll probably appreciate it.
Glasses off again.
So I, as an artist and as a writer, I am very into existentialism.
Yep.
And broken people.
Yep.
I love broken things. They're beautiful. I hate strong characters for the sake of strong characters. Particularly a recent trend I'm seeing is strong females just because there was an epidemic of weak females. I don't like it. I get it if it's a narrative choice. Like if it's supposed to be the coming of age of this young lady, or this is supposed to be like a warrior, cool, make them strong. But just to have someone be strong because you don't want the social whiplash of, oh, why did you make that character cry? Just because she's a woman? Well, no, it's because her fucking baby died. Yeah. She has to cry. People cry. God damn it.
If
Not every woman cries when a baby dies.
I mean, that is fair.
right.
But we're going
I probably would, just so you know.
But characters are generally based on the mass majority, unless they are specifically not. But, like, there shouldn't be this idea of let's make a strong character because we don't, or let's make any character so that it's not against the social pressure.
Right.
You know, like, to put it in another direction, right? Why is it there's this epidemic of also black characters being very white in personality? Like, why?
So you just wrote a white character and then you cast a black actor.
Right.
Cast a black person.
Why? Now, there might be a legitimate reason behind it.
Sure.
But why aren't they more urban? Like, did they grow up in the inner city? Yeah. Did they grow up in Detroit? Yeah. Why don't they act like that?
Yeah, it depends on who the character is.
Majority.
Right.
Majority.
Write your characters, not what society wants your characters to be, because that's boring and watered down and shitty.
I love the X-Files, but they did something very specific in casting. Well, they did not casting, but when they were writing Scully, the female character, as being the skeptic, the grounded one who was very level-headed, and Mulder, the male, as being the believer who was like head in the clouds. Like, I believe that this could be something extraterrestrial or supernatural. And ever since then, I think TV shows and movies and everything has run with that idea of the woman being like the level-headed, grounded one, and the man being more flightful is the word I was trying to say.
Whew.
Yes, that was difficult for me. I don't know why. And I really want to write something where, like, the woman is like, I think it might be ghosts or whatever, and the man's like, you're being silly, because that's...
I feel like that's everyday life, though.
Maybe. Yeah, and I feel like...
I truly believe that.
Yeah, I feel like that is more grounded in reality, and I'm not saying that women are, like, dumb for believing that. I just think that would be an interesting dynamic to have the X-Files come back on the air or something, a reboot of it or something where they've switched the roles there.
I'm just touch on this real quick too. Something you and I have always talked about. It's so hard writing a strong female character who is not a complete bitch.
Yes, this is something that
It is so hard to. And I really can't think
of... Well, because there's this unfortunate stereotype that strong means offensive.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of strong meaning composed or in control.
So I think about this a lot where I'll think in my head about this boss type character who's a male, and they're an employee, any gender doesn't matter, comes up and says, "Hey, I'd like to go on vacation over the next week because my family's in town." And they're like, "No, we need you here." If that's a male character, you're like, "Oh, he's a strong boss and he's doing that." But if it's a female, you're like,
what a bitch.
Yeah, why is this person acting this way? It's like, "No, we need you here. We need you to be in the office this week." And then you're suddenly like, "Ooh, I hate this person."
I find myself doing it too, and I have 2 bosses and another female boss, and every time she says something, I'm like, "You're a complete bitch." But I would never say that to my male bosses.
And I don't want to take too much time on this subject, but it's why I think the character of Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones is a great character, because she rides that line. She never has that bitchiness to her.
She's starting to get it, and I don't like her.
Yeah,
but
I don't think so. I don't get that impression from her. But she is a very tough character. She's very like, "Where are my dragons? And I'm going to take over Westeros, and I'm going to do all these things." And she's not like, you're not like, "Ugh, why are you just a mean?" She's not mean about it. She's just tough. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. This isn't my thing. This is in response.
Okay.
To what we've been saying about strong female characters and how I think you put it that means offensive.
Right.
An example I'm going to use of 2 different types, very different types of strong female characters, is actually something you and I have written, Alex.
Yeah.
Adventures.
Yep.
We have 2. I would say both of them are strong female characters, not because they're strong. They are they are characters.
They're fully fleshed out. They have
so whenever I say strong female character, I don't mean offensive or strong. I mean competent.
Yeah,
and I mean that for any character, strong male character, strong. So when I say strong female character, my thing is: are they a person? Are they grounded in a reality? And are they competent?
Yeah.
So, talking about offensive, we have written a character named Christine. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't describe her as kind of a bitch. Others, I think, outside of the core group would.
She's very abrasive. That's the word I use.
But that wasn't a choice that we were like, "Oh, she's strong, so it just happened that her background and what we wanted to do with her character is wouldn't it be an interesting choice if this person was just kind of this loudmouth, abrasive, forward."
She just doesn't really there's not
a filter.
Tact.
She has no filter. She's no tact. But that was just an organic choice, and I feel we write it organically. And then there's kind of the flip side of that, kind of this not mousy, but very reserved, analytical.
She only comes out.
Only speaks when she needs to. Yeah. But if she's in the room, she knows what she's doing. You know that if she's going to say something, it's, again, grounded and competent. I don't know. I'm agreeing with everyone at this table that I hate the phrase strong female character for the sake of having a strong female character.
Right.
And I don't even know
that point. But I also don't think there's anything wrong with saying, you know what I need in my show right now? What I'm lacking? I need this perspective, a strong female character.
Mm-hmm. Then make that character...
Well, that's the thing. I would even...
competent.
Exactly.
Well, you're about to say something. I'll wait till you...
I also, carrying on that, and I know you're a good enough writer to do that. Mm-hmm. I don't like when not good writers do that, because
they do the lazy thing.
They never make it a narrative entanglement. It's just, here's a new character just because I want this demographic. Yep. But if you're going to add a character that you're like, I need a strong female character, I want that in the group. I want that to be a dynamic in the show. And you tangle it into the narrative, that's good writing. That's knowing what you need and making it happen. But to just say, I need a strong character, I want to be female, because I want, 20-somethings to like my show.
Yeah. Bill Murray plays characters that are a mess, a goofball, incompetent, and generally just needs other people to tell him where to go and what path to take, because he just plays kind of loser-type characters. And nobody ever says that Bill Murray doesn't play a strong character, a strong male character.
Yeah.
They just say, "Oh, that was a great Bill Murray role."
Great reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think maybe what's her name? Melissa McCarthy plays like a female Bill Murray nowadays, and I'm not just saying because Ghostbusters. I think that's just her.
Oh, that was good though.
Yeah. And I think that's just her shtick. Is like I'm just kind of schlubby. I'm just kind of weirdo.
However, I am not a fan of.
I'm not a fan of
her,
Melissa,
and it's not
either.
because it doesn't her brand of comedy.
I'm a fan of her, but I'm not a fan of
exactly.
her comedy.
I am a fan of her as a person, not a fan of the characters that
I'm a fan
she
of her,
does.
and I like her when she does things like Saint Vincent. Oh, that's a Bill Murray movie. It's drama, and her role in it is this concerned mother, and I'm like. Perfect.
Like
you were perfectly cast.
When she tweets or when she does interviews and stuff, I'm like, yes, everything that you're saying, yes. But when when she's in Spy or like anything else, like, no, what are you doing?
A strong role model for not being like a supermodel and not having like a great figure.
Don't even mention that because.
Well, I'm bringing in Bill Murray, talking about great examples of doing it right, the opposite of what I don't like.
Yeah.
Osmosis Jones, the original, takes place inside of Bill Murray, and the external world also incorporates his daughter.
Yeah,
that. So Bill Murray plays this dipshit who's literally dying. From his poor life choices.
Yeah, he's literally making all the wrong choices to kill him.
And his daughter is very vulnerable. She is a young girl, very vulnerable. She takes care of her dad. That's a stronger female character than someone who says, I'll kick your ass because I don't like you.
Yeah.
That vulnerability is strong.
Awesome reference.
Use it.
Man, guys, you're killing it.
I got chills. Wow, we're doing it. All right, so that was...
Connor didn't really give an answer.
I have.
Great. Exactly. So
I hate witty writing for the sake of witty writing.
Yep.
Stop it.
Just
fucking stop. You see this a lot on network television right now.
Yeah.
Say it.
Like the CW network.
Yes.
I think is
they do. They have a ton.
I'm just like.
Do you know Mad TV's still on the CW?
What?
I know.
This scene doesn't make sense when you're trying to make every character a Joss Whedon character. I'm sorry that you're writing a teen drama and you're not Joss Whedon, but you're not. The reason why Joss Whedon's witty characters work is because not all of them are.
Yeah.
And it's clear when someone enters a room or a scene who like thinking of like superior inferior as far as that is a battle, that it is battle of the wits. It is and they lose. But in these shows, they want every character to have their quip of the week, or
quip of the week,
but that just breeds terrible dialogue. It breeds lazy writing.
Yeah,
and it breeds exposition because I found a creative way to get out all this exposition. No, you really didn't. I promise you.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like your and mine can be tied together into this theme that they talk about. Day one in any kind of acting or writing class.
Yeah.
If you're saying, I'm going to do this because it's cool, it's probably a bad idea.
Yeah. If you're approaching something with the idea of, wouldn't it be cool if, don't. Because it won't be.
Well...
No, it's a pretty solid rule.
No, but if you're writing and you say, "Hey, I want to tell this narrative about these this mother and father who are trying to keep their family together," and you're like, "I'm just going to have that be a thing," or I can set that in space and they're on a spaceship because it's cooler. I think that's a valid choice. Obviously, this is just a goofball example.
I think the difference. That we're coming from is...
Right. This phrase is bred from the idea of grounded choices.
And this one, spur of the moment, wouldn't it be awesome if she got pregnant?
An example of wouldn't it be cool if that... It was only, wouldn't it be cool if Spider-Man the musical...
Okay,
right?
Yeah, I get
but how Joss Whedon talking about how Firefly came about. Hey, I'm reading a lot about the Civil War... I wonder what that'd look like in space.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. I wonder what that is, not going, I'm going to do this. Wouldn't it be cool if?
Basically,
Oh yeah, Firefly. That's the show that I would have kept from a few episodes ago forever if they hadn't
Asshole,
canceled
you're
it.
such an
I
asshole.
can't believe I forgot about Firefly. There it is.
You're such a jackass.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about Tarantino the other day, you and me, and we were saying, like, Tarantino writes his own specific way, and other people trying to write Tarantino.
Oh, God,
it's just
bad.
not good.
Oh, it's so bad.
Yeah.
Think about all of the writers that you like and why you like their tone of voice. I guarantee you they weren't trying to sound like somebody else. Tarantino was just writing what he thought would be cool, what he thought would be good.
Entertaining,
yeah. And so was Joss Whedon, and so is whoever
I
writes...
think there's nothing wrong with looking at a writer, and particularly for writer, if we're looking at screenplays, and then looking at the screenplay and going, you know what, I like what this person did with this. Maybe if I try to emulate that and fold that into my own style, that's very different than going, you know what, I'm going to write a Joss Whedon style show.
Yeah, I'm going to write a show that sounds like a Joss Whedon show. And then
you had better have spent your entire life studying that before you even attempted.
Yeah. Think about how many shows that are Game of Thrones knockoffs, and you can tell it's like, oh, they're going for the Game of Thrones.
Gallivant.
Well, Gallivant's a parody. It's like a satire.
I love Gallivant.
I love Gallivant.
Fucking love Gallivant.
But shows that are like, hey, it's going to be
tell
this
me that. What's her name? The
Madalena
is not Cersei Lannister.
Oh, she's being Cersei
Yeah.
Lannister. She's musical, funny Cersei Lannister.
Yeah. But that's the point. But that's I think we're getting.
But you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Goddamn. Good.
Great.
Good
Man,
round,
great episode.
This has been a really, really deep episode of Peeves and Cues. How long has it been on?
Almost 2 hours.
1 hour and 49 minutes. The episode will be a little
Take a
short.
warm bath, light some scented candles, and just take a load off. You deserve it, viewers,
You know what?
listeners.
You know what?
Bring a tissue though, because you're gonna cry.
Yeah, that's what I think this episode's going to be called, like, have a tissue handy or something. Because you're going to want to jerk off. All right, brought it home.
It was better.
Thanks, you guys. Thanks, you guys, for doing this with me. This was a lot of fun. I know we went to some deep places tonight, but I'm glad that we did it. I think it was important for the listeners to hear.
Good.
And now that I told my life story, maybe you can unchain me from the table.
Nope.
I mean, you're still contractually obligated for 40 more episodes. All right, so thanks for listening. You can find the podcast on Peeves and Cues.
On Twitter.
On Twitter.
At
It's on
Peeves
Twitter.
and Cues.
At Peeves and Cues. Boy, I have some work to do. I need to write this out at some point. But
And then
there's also an email address.
Yep.
Peeves and Cues
Podcast at gmail.com.
Thank you. I'm on Twitter at Mr. spelled out the long way, Red2342. That's Mr. Red2342. Anyone else?
You can find me on Facebook at Clever Girl Effects Studios.
I'm just an actor doing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm at chainedtothetable.org.
Yeah, no.
Free.
You got that domain, did you?
Yeah.
I know you were struggling with it.
I'm pretty sure some
it
other
was-
bitch has that.
It was a strict legal battle, but I won.
Yeah, the other company was like into some stuff. Anyway, so thanks for listening. This has not been terrible. This was a really good episode. We should still shut it down.